Welcome back, everybody. Imagine knowing comedian Christopher Farley and partying with him days before he died. Well, that's just what happened to our next guest. Farley changed Jonathan Herron's life, and now he's a man of the cloth. He's kind of a funny pastor, and he joins us in the studio. Welcome, Jonathan.
Thanks, Joel.
Tell us about this situation with Chris Farley. What were you guys doing days before he died?
About 15 years ago, I was working at a place called Second City in Chicago, and long story short, working at the theater, Chris would come in sometimes just to have some laughs, and somehow I got elected to be his bodyguard, which I don't look like a bodyguard, but that's how the relationship started.
Mm-hmm. And were you partying with him?
Yeah.
What were you guys doing?
Well, it was interesting, Joel, to observe Rich and Fame right up close,
right,
and to see that just kind of amplifies what's going on inside you. And so, yeah, 2 nights before Farley's tragic loss, I was out with him.
Was he doing drugs at that time?
Sadly, yeah. He was drinking, selling drugs, doing drugs.
Yeah. What kind of drugs?
Well, all kinds. Yeah. And I was a young, impressionable college student, so I thought that was cool. But then we were all shocked 2 days later when his body was discovered.
But you say that incident changed your life, and now you're a man of the cloth. Go through that a little bit.
Well, briefly, when you're rich and famous, I saw right up close how that amplifies what's going on inside, and we all end up going somewhere. And so I went on a search, read all the world religions books, faiths, ended up getting captured by the story of Jesus, went to seminary, and now we're moving towards launching this new church in Saginaw.
Unfortunately, we're out of time in this segment, but on our next time that we talk to you, Jonathan's got a new church that's opening up this weekend at the Dow Event Center, and we want to find out about that. It's a funny church, apparently. You have a focus on humor, and we're going to talk to you next hour if you can stick around.
Very good.
Thank you, Jonathan. Todd, welcome back, everybody. A local pastor used to know Chris Farley, the comedian. In fact, he partied with Chris Farley just days before he died. Now John has turned his life to God, I guess, right? John, did I get that right?
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. It was part of the comedy scene in Chicago in the 90s. And now we're doing church work here in Saginaw.
Jonathan Herron is his name. And before we get to the church work, tell me a little bit about Chris Farley and what all happened way back when.
I was part of the comedy scene out in Chicago, and somehow got connected with Farley and some of the up-and-coming comedians like Tina Fey. And I was partying with him 2 nights before he passed away.
What a shame, because he was so funny. I loved him in all his movies.
Absolutely.
And on Saturday Night Live. But you've now turned your life to God and are this weekend opening a church at the Dow. Tell me about that.
Yeah, lifechurchmichigan.com. It's a non-denominational church. Come as you are, laid back. Hopefully the messages are funny. Live music, best hour in your kids' week. And we're really excited about it.
When I think church, I don't think funny. Tell me how you're going to incorporate humor into a church service.
It takes all different flavors of churches to reach all different flavors of people. We're just bringing a new flavor. Hopefully people can relax, let their guard down. We'll tell some, I'll be sharing about my experience with Chris Farley this Sunday at Life Church, but get them laughing a little bit and point them to a higher purpose.
And this is going to be every month at the Dow, right?
Yeah, yep. It's brand new, start from scratch church at the Dow, and we're really excited about it.
Who would be your demographic? I mean, who would go to that church? Who are you after to try to come and save, so to speak?
Sure, young men.
Yeah.
If young men can get grabbed a hold of now with a passion or purpose for life, that would be who we were really targeting.
What would be an example of a joke you might tell during a church service?
Well,
how about that?
Be funny at 6 in the morning. Well, God has a sense of humor. I mean, look at the Kardashians.
Mm-hmm.
Look at this Honey Boo Boo. There's some silly stuff out there, and you see comedy in the scriptures. So that's what we're kind of leaning into is using irony and things.
Amazing concept. We wish you well with that, Jonathan.
Thank you so much.
Great stuff. Jonathan Herron from the New Life Church, and he's got a website. Michigan.com.
Absolutely.
People want more information. They'll be at the Dow what time on Sunday?
11 a.m.
11 a.m. and you're sure to laugh. And here's Ty. And you might cry over the weather here today.
Yep, serious stuff here, Joel. Let's take a look.